Hey, so what's going on, everyone? So if you're watching this, that means that we have passed 2,000 subscribers. So that's awesome. So, as promised, for doing so, I am going to do the promised Q&A video. So, as you can tell, I've already got the questions. If anyone wants to pause that real quick to see what some of those questions are, feel free to. If not, I will be doing these. We are going to be doing 20 questions. So I do want to tell everyone now, a lot of people were asking some questions regarding personal life. I just want to say for the record, I'm not against answering personal life questions, but I want to grow this channel a little bit more first. So this Q&A is, for the most part, strictly writing based. So let's get into these questions. So, why I use a pen name. So if some of you read the comments, then you notice that people call me Luke. However, if you have seen some of my videos where I show off my book covers or I'm talking about stuff, then you'll notice the name C.L. Williams. So here's the thing. I published 7 poetry books and 1 co-written book of poems and short stories under my real name, Luke Wood. However, I had a time where I wasn't writing for about 2 years, and when I came back with the last Luke Wood release, which is Meta, it was brought to my attention that there were 3 other authors named Luke Wood. So I felt that I needed to do something different. I chose the CL part because my full name is Christopher Luke Wood. So the CL, so it still keeps my name. Williams, I wanted to keep my initials CLW just because I'm used to those initials. William is my grandfather's middle name, so I thought that would be a nice little touch. And the other names I was trying to come up with were taken. So C.L. Williams it is. How did I come up with the name Writer434? So most people will probably... Let me give you an example. A lot of authors would probably put their name or their pen name and put official or real or something like that in it. So instead of the real C.L. Williams or C.L. Williams official. However, C.L. Williams official is the URL for my second channel. Writer434, when my first book came out, I needed a new email just because I had something that I made in high school that I am not going to name on here. So, needed something. I was writing, hence writer. 434 is the area code for where I live. And I just pretty much kept it and ran with it. So writer434 is the URL for my Facebook, my Instagram. Twitter has an underscore because I forgot the info for my original Twitter page. So that's why my Twitter page that all of you know of is writer_434. And pretty much any writer434 email address is mine. And before anyone tries to spam any of those, don't try. Just don't. How I got into writing. I don't normally like talking about this just because if you were to ask pretty much any of my friends, they're going to tell you, this is what I was born to do. And a lot of other writers that I haven't met will tell you, this is what I was born to do, and I love writing, and I love reading. And that's not my story. I hated reading growing up. It was hurting my grades in English class. And writing assignments were my saving grace, to the point of teachers pulling me to the side, complimenting my work. And 9 times out of 10, I wrote it the night before. So that was my first introduction to learning that I have a knack for writing. Trying to not fail English. Sorry, y'all, but yeah, no, I was born to do this, and I always loved doing that. It was something I stumbled into. Random fact about myself. So there's a couple of things about me that I personally find interesting, but there's always one thing about me that is always fascinating to others, and that is I'm left-handed. And my handwriting sucks. But that's not the random fact. The random fact is that I am a lefty. So why I started writing fiction? Well, for starters, short stories was how I found out I could write in the first place. But for those that follow me, then any of my day one people know that I started with books, with poetry. And long story short, it's a combination of a couple things. One, I get bored easily. So once I feel like I've done something, I kind of want to take a break from it, or I want to make sure that the next time I go back to something, I can outdo what I've done. So that's part of it. Another thing is with some of my older books, more specifically with Awakening with the Sea and Lies of the Fearless, I've got some narrative poems in both of those books. I might even have one or two in Aspects of Love. But narrative poems are poems that tell a story. And a lot of people told me that those are some of the poems they enjoyed. So I thought, I'm going to try doing some stuff with fiction. And out of the stuff I've written, I've noticed a lot of people enjoy the horror stuff, and I've had quite a few people compliment me on the romance stuff. And there's other genres I'm going to be doing as well if I haven't already done them. Name some goals. This is also another question that I really don't want to answer, because one thing I've always been taught is to be careful when announcing your next move. Because you can make it in silence and no one says anything, but the second you tell everyone, that's the second that you're opening yourself up to ridicule, to criticism, and those can lead to failure. But I can tell you, as an author, I think pretty much every author has the desire and goal of ending up with a book or being in a book on the USA Today bestsellers list, the New York Times bestsellers list. I would definitely love to say that I'm in a book on both of those. With this channel, I definitely want to see more growth on it, because I've been looking at how some other authors are doing on YouTube, and I think there's some huge potential on doing stuff with this channel specifically. Another thing too is I'd like to be able to help others. Like, I want to be able to help others release their debut book, or be able to have some hand in being able to do something for someone that might not be able to do something themselves. I'm not saying I'm the best choice to help someone release their debut book, but there's definitely some stuff that I've learned from personal experience and business experience that I think I could bring to the table. Favorite book I've written? I don't like answering this question for a lot of reasons. For starters, my favorite book that I've written is not necessarily everyone else's favorite book out of the stuff I've written. So that's part of it. Another reason, the second I tell people this is my favorite out of the stuff I've written, that means it gets put on a pedestal. It gets put under a microscope. And it gets run through. So I'm not going to tell you my favorite book I've written. I will tell you, out of the stuff I've written, I will say that one of my favorite poems I've written is Remission. That the original version of the poem appears in A Virgin Humanity, and I did a slightly altered version that appears in the Ink Feathers Publishing's anthology As I Learnt to Fly, and it's going to be going up on streaming services real soon, so be on the lookout for Remission. And my favorite short story I've written is probably Wingreen Possession, that appears in Ghostly Rights Anthology 2018. So my original plan with that story was to just write your typical ghost story, have some possession in it, and that was going to be it. I went Shyamalan with the last act of the story, and I am going to be releasing possibly 2, maybe even more stories that are connected to Wingreen Possession next year. So right now there's Wingreen Possession that's in Ghostly Rights Anthology 2018. There's Wingreen Reprise that's in Dark Moments Year 1 from Black Hair Press. And there is the prequel story, Wingreen Uprising, that is in the anthology One of Us, that's compiled by Sammy Sands. And like I said, there's 2 more that I know of that are coming. Favorite anthology that I am a part of? I am going to have to say Storming Area 51 from Black Hair Press. It was something that came together real quick. These stories are interconnected, so it's kind of like reading a novel. Even though it's a short story collection, it's very creative. Even though what happened with Area 51 wasn't exactly what we were all expecting, nor was it what we wrote about, I've still been able to get people to check out the book, because I'll tell people, this takes place in an alternate timeline where we successfully did this. So even now, it's still a book that a lot of people are interested in, and it's one of the more well-received books I'm a part of, and it's definitely one of the most enjoyable reads I've had personally. Regardless of me being in it, and don't get me wrong, I'm thankful that I'm in it. I love the book. I love I'm a part of it. But that is hands down one of the most enjoyable experiences I've had with reading a book. Chaos Fusion. So that is the name of my novelette collection. If you downloaded Lucifer's Lost Love, Cindy's Choice, or Regroup from the Remains, or even the retroactively added Sector Omicron and Cindy's Choice, then you've noticed that they are under the banner Chaos Fusion. So when I first came up with the idea of doing this novelette collection, none of these stories have any connection together. I'm pretty much forcing them under one banner, hence Chaos. There's no order to these, there's no continuity. It's just some stories that I've written that either were previously released and went out of print, or stuff that was sitting on my computer that I'd already paid to get edited and it's just sitting there doing nothing. So like I said, just some stuff I put together, hence the Chaos part. Fusion, I put all these under one banner. So Chaos Fusion. Simple as that. All right, with my upcoming poetry book, Omni, what is the most personal poem in the book? Here's the thing. Omni is about 80% personal material. However, I am going to say, if I have to pick one specific poem to say this is the most personal poem in the book, I'm going to go with the poem Could Have Been Me, because it's something that I've only talked about with a handful of people. So as far as my close group of friends, my family goes, I can count on one hand the number of people that know the story. And even though this is something from years ago, Omni will be the first time I am talking about it in one of my books. So, print books. As everyone knows, so far this year, I have only released one print book, and that is Tales from the Forbidden Forest. The reason is, even prior to everything that has happened in 2020, my plan was to always release digital stuff periodically, and then once all the digital pieces are out, that's when I release the print book. With Tales from the Forbidden Forest, Demonic Bites came out in June or July, I believe. And the Tales from the Forbidden Forest novella came out in September. The print book features both Tales from the Forbidden Forest and it features Demonic Bites. Same with Chaos Fusion. Lucifer's Lost Love came out in January. Playing Games came out in February. Cindy's Choice came out in May. Sector Omicron came out in August, and we are wrapping things up very, very soon with Regroup from the Remains. Once Regroup from the Remains is out, that is when the Chaos Fusion print book will be out. So this was always the plan. I will say that my original plans did get altered for various reasons, but that was always the plan. And the same with Omni. First half is coming out very, very soon. Second half is going to be released early 2021. When the second half is out, that's when the print book comes out. All right, so favorite moments of the year. Definitely have to mention that Cindy's Choice was my first #1, with me being the sole author of the book. I've been in several anthologies that have been either a #1 new release or a #1 bestseller in various categories, but Cindy's Choice was my first book where it's just me. So that's definitely a huge moment. Got to give a shout out to this channel, just because December 2019 I set it up, December 2020 we're at 2,000 subscribers. And the channel's been monetized. We've got the second channel up. So think those are the main ones. You know, this channel taking off pretty well, and me getting my first #1. That's always a incredible thing, and that's probably going to be one of the biggest highlights for my writing career until something else tops it. All right, so someone mentioned that they saw someone under my real name on IMDb. If it's me, and how did that happen? So yes, little known fact, I have an IMDb page. For anyone that's wondering, that's the website you go to for movie database. Shows like actors, producers, directors, and their filmography. So over the years, I have backed some Kickstarters for MMH Productions, as well as voiced some characters for some of Matthew's short films on his YouTube channel, as well as voicing some characters on his children's channel, Matthew and Ophelia's Wonderful World of Fun. And one of his films, Bedbugs, is a 5-short anthology film, and 2 of those shorts are based off of my short stories. So yes, that is me. I'm on there under my real name, Luke Wood, for anyone that wants to check that out. So for those that don't know, I actually have a second channel, C.L. Williams. That is the channel where I have all my spoken word poetry. So also, if you don't know, earlier this year I started putting my poems and some of my short stories on streaming services like Spotify, Apple Music, so on and so forth. And this year was also the year that Google discontinued Google Play Music in favor of YouTube Music. Since my stuff is being released through a distributor, it had to go somewhere through Google. So I set up the C.L. Williams channel. That way, poems can go there. The distributors can do what they need to on that channel without intervening with anything that's going on with this channel. And major shout out to everyone. That channel doesn't have the same audience that this channel does, but I went a week without uploading, and I had comments on several videos, hey, you haven't uploaded anything. So thank you to everyone that has subscribed to my second channel. I will have that in the description below as well, for anyone that would like to hit the subscribe button or at least check out some of my spoken word poetry. All right, some YouTubers I am subscribed to. I'm just going to give a shout out to some of my friends just because they've got channels. One that I have mentioned previously is my friend Jo Michaels, one of my fellow writing people. She's got a cooking channel, The Baking Author. I'm warning everyone now, if you watch that on an empty stomach, you are going to be one very frustrated individual. My friend KN Lee, she's got 2 channels, Writer Divine Earth Angel and Writer Mom Life. And one of my frequent collaborators when it goes to me doing stuff outside of writing being Matthew Mark Hunter. He's got 2 channels as well, MMH Productions and Matthew and Ophelia's Wonderful World of Fun. And I will have links in the description below for all 5 of those channels. So, non-book related videos. So recently I have done 2 unboxing videos, one for the album We Scheme from the artist of the same name. And I also did an unboxing for the last Blockbuster documentary. So both of those were done because I've had a lot of people ask about some of my personal interests outside of writing. And in the case of the Lee Scheme album, I just happened to get the last physical CD that he was going to be making for his self-titled release. So I thought it'd be a cool thing to document. As far as doing more stuff like that, right now I'm not sure. I'm not saying it'll never happen again, because that'll be the second that something else shows up. But for now, you're probably not going to see that many movie-related things and that many music-related things. For the most part, we're going to stick to writing on this channel because the channel is titled Writer434. What type of videos can you expect in the future? Definitely going to keep doing the unboxings just because they're simple to do. I get to share the stuff that my friends do. A couple of them have even told me that with the unboxing videos, they've seen an uptick in their book sales. So you're definitely going to see more unboxing videos. I've got a couple of friends that I've met at conventions. I've had a lot of people ask me about doing more comic book and graphic novel related stuff, so I'm going to try to get some more stuff like that done. Definitely going to do some more reviews because at the time of this getting uploaded, y'all have only gotten one review video from me. So definitely going to be doing another one of those real soon. Well, several of those real soon, I should say. I think I've got 6 in the can right now. And with Omni getting ready to come out, I've also got the Omni breakdown videos where each video is going to feature anywhere from 1 to 3 poems where I talk about the inspiration behind it and break down some of the lines. I think that's, and of course, we're still going to have some vlogs and some discussions. Now the channel's getting bigger. Might do a live stream in the near future. So if y'all want to get a live stream going on, comment down below. And I think that's it for now. Some of the other stuff I don't want to say just yet because I don't want to get anyone's hopes up. So more unboxings, more vlogs, more discussions, more reviews. Several more reviews are coming. And going to try to do more than just books. Going to try to get some comics and graphic novels on here. Going to try to get some audiobooks on here. So yeah, we're going to have some more stuff other than just being an unboxing channel. The biggest question I have been getting asked ever since April 2018 when The Escape of Ernest Frost came out. When am I releasing novel number 2? So the original plan was to release my second novel, Nobo Away from Earth, in 2019. Well, I got about halfway through the book, and I felt like there was more that could be said and done with the main characters. So it is being rewritten as a trilogy. So right now it's not going to be out right anytime soon. I've got 2 other projects I'm working on that are most likely going to end up being novel length. And I'm going to tell everyone now. If I end up going with the plan that I've got, my second novel is going to come out right underneath your noses and you will never see it coming. You're just going to be seeing some stuff, and one day you're going to be looking at a print book and realize that I have released my second novel. All right, the final question. And it's weird that this is one of the most frequently asked questions when I told people to send me their questions for a Q&A video, given that this Q&A video has not happened yet. So, the final question for this Q&A is, when will I be doing another Q&A? All right, so we did this one to celebrate 2,000 subscribers. So, I'm thinking that we will do another Q&A video at 5,000 subscribers. So this one's the 2K Q&A. So let's do a 5K Q&A. And I'll answer more questions on that one. But that is it for this one. I want to say thank you to everyone for asking your questions. I'm aware that there are some questions that some of you asked that I did not answer. I will either do a blog post or I will post something somewhere explaining why some of the frequently asked questions were not a part of this Q&A. But for the most part, I mean, this is the questions a lot of you were asking the most. Hopefully, I answered some of the questions a lot of you were wanting. And if I didn't, bug me until 5,000 subscribers. Get your friends to subscribe. Get family members to subscribe. Find some random stranger and tell them, well, maybe not with 2020 being what 2020 is, but get more people to subscribe. The faster we get to 5,000, the sooner the 5K Q&A will happen. But that's going to do it for this one. Thank you, everyone. Hope you've enjoyed this week of daily uploads. Might be doing this again for another milestone. And that does it for this one. I will have my social media links in the description below. I will also be including some of the random channels that I have given shoutouts to throughout this Q&A. I will have links in the description below for my second channel and my most recently uploaded to streaming service poem, Homecoming. And that does it for this one. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.